By this time, we've laid a pretty good foundation for embracing the art of invitation. You know, the art of invitation is a framework to build and restore relationships that involves tools and concepts and can be used for many purposes. Being invitational is a mindset, and practicing invitation is a character trait, which also involves behaviors. We have looked at 3 ways to relate to others: invitationally, presentationally, and confrontationally. Up to now, this framework may seem simple. However, the greatest challenge of being invitational comes when we interact with someone with whom we are at odds. We all use colorful metaphors to describe such people. For our purposes here, we choose to use the term stinkpot to describe the person who makes being invitational difficult. For example, someone with very different habits, opinions, values, we may consider a stinkpot. Someone with a personal history that offends or even threatens us, we may consider a stinkpot. If a person gets in the way of our agenda and slows us down, we may consider a stinkpot. Using the term stinkpot helps us identify barriers to being invitational. The challenge occurs when we think about the differences that separate us more than the value and worth of the person we view as a stinkpot. We may think that the stinkpot does not deserve the status of equal. We focus upon their offensiveness more than their value and worth as a human being. Relating with someone we view as a stinkpot does not mean that we must deny or dismiss our opinions or values. It does not mean that we can easily dismiss hurtful or threatening behavior, nor does it negate the importance of our own needs. Learning how to relate to a stinkpot is where the art of invitation framework is particularly helpful. The art of invitation is a set of concepts and a way of being that can be applied to any situation, particularly those uncomfortable or familiar to us. Choosing to value a stinkpot comes from the heart. Being invitational is not like putting on a pair of pants. Showing invitation from the outside only goes so far. When being invitational does not come from within us, we can act in ways that seem loving, but these behaviors are not able to withstand difficult and almost impossible challenges, especially with stinkpots. Treating stinkpots invitationally is facilitated by the second thought process. Our last video in this chapter will unpack how the second thought process helps us embrace invitation toward others and from others. The second thought process also helps us get back on the road to invitation when we are less than invitational, especially with the stinkpots in our lives.